past those hushed. And they're easy to kill. Like, I don't need to sneak past them. Just would rather. No, 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 no. Alright, where am I? Our first death on this character! And because it was stupid. They're always stupid. I get for trying. I was trying to sneak past these monsters. Is what I was doing. Alright. Back this way. Up here. Okay. We made it. Made it again. Not so big jump. Little jump. Good job.
A prosperous discovery.
Hey, guy, where to... Oh, hey. Had to leave for a minute to go potty myself. And I came back and that was... No!
Reject necrosis. Rise to the occasion.
Yeah. How is he not freaked out by the fact that I just, like, will cripple it? Alright. One more crystal. We'll head back. Go unlock a few of these things on the map that still need to be unlocked. I have one quest that I forgot about that I need to. Well, do that real quick and knock that out of the park. Depending on how thrilling it is, I may or may not show you. I don't know.
You return. Did you find Cypher Acasern and put a stop to this madness with the numinous rite?
Yes, we prevented him from completing the rite, and he's dead.
I can almost understand Acasern's desperation. No matter how much we learn, mortality means that one day it will be lost. Yet trying to cheat that fate by stealing from others is foolish. Thank you, Traveler. As promised, a reward for your help. On behalf of the Ciphers of Mora, my thanks. You have done us a great service by dealing with Acasern, Traveler.
Pleasure.
The mortal returns. I thought I recognized that wrinkle in the fabric of fate.
I hoped Laramil would be with you. We have news. Scroot and I uncovered the most interesting news. The Assembly of Masters learned of Master Shelreni's recent activities and has called for a conclave. They plan to strip her of her rank and expel her from the house.
Oh, what's the difference between an assembly and a conclave?
It's complicated. The Assembly of Masters consists of just their mouths. The actual Masters rarely leave their towers, and never to meet with their rivals. A conclave, however, is a different story. The Masters themselves are compelled to attend.
How does that help us locate Master Shelreni and recover Melon Black's book?
Don't you see? When they convene the Masters' Conclave, Shelreni must be on hand to contest the charges. So, we know where we can find her and when.
So where is this conclave going to take place?
At Tel Hulan, the Tower Hall in Old Isra. As a curate, I think I can get us into the Conclave by claiming official Necrom business. House Telvanni prefers to stay on our good side, so they rarely ask too many questions of the Keepers of the Dead.
Alright, I'll meet you at Aldizra.
Curate or not, he'll never get into the Conclave bearing the mark of a Daedric prince. Not without my help. Underestimate Shalreni at your own peril. And do not think to just walk into a Telvanni stronghold reeking of Hermaeus Mora. Either Shalreni's Daedric allies or the Conclave's own protections will spot you the moment you step across the threshold.
Can you help us avoid detection?
Of course. Wasn't I the greatest magister of my time? If not for my desire for solitude, I would have been the Archmagister. Unfortunately, my spectral body isn't good for anything these days. You'll need to serve as my hands for this to work.
Alright, what do I need to do?
Return to Telrendis. Around my tower, you'll find the components necessary to assemble a passable cloak of omission. Look for dried hoaxwort, a lamia-scale shawl, and an illusion tincture of my own creation. I'll tell you more when we get there.
Alright, goodbye. Alright, welcome back. We just arrived at our location. I did some account maintenance, checked my bank, did a bunch of stuff like that. Kind of boring. Oh my god.
Now where did I bury those components?
I would love to talk to him, but I actually don't physically see him. Glitching out, dude. How are you?
I should have made a map. Curse this incorporeal existence! I can see why most ancestors move on instead of haunting their descendants. My mortal memories are much harder to recall than I anticipated. I don't remember where to find those components. Not exactly.
So I came here for nothing?
Of course not. I buried the components we need in separate caches on the tower grounds. I just can't remember exactly where I put them. No matter. With your assistance, I'm sure we can find the right spots.
Alright, what do you need me to do?
Use my ghost sight. It will reveal the hiding places. Remember, Telrendis is my place of power, despite Shalreni's attempts to make it her own. Here, I can easily use my magic through you, as long as you're willing.
Where should I start
I
looking?
placed sigils at the spots, but on a different layer of reality. Use my ghost sight, and you should be able to see them. The caches are buried beneath those locations. When you get close to a spot I recognize, I'll tell you to activate my sight.
Okay.
Arrival, anticipation.
Should be able to see my sigils through my ghost sight. Look around. Isn't ghost sight wonderful? You'll find a cache here.
Mora's mini tentacles.
Activate my ghost sight.
Going to need a moment. I'm not a young man. And tranquility.
Oh. Alright, dude. I didn't thought we were done.
This old workbench. We can prepare the Cloak of Omission here. Good work. Now, place the components one at a time onto the enchanting workbench. Almost done. Now sprinkle the tincture. Excellent. Now take the Cloak of Omission. Go ahead and try it on. The cloak will mask your presence and hide your connection to the Prince of Fate. You look amazing. Barely a hint of a Daedric connection. I should explain the particulars, though. Not a bad bit of work. You follow directions well. And the cloak looks perfectly dashing. Dashing, I say. Now let's head to Old Isra and meet up with Kirt Gedain. She should have gotten you access to the Conclave by now.
Wait a moment, you said something about particulars?
Did I? I don't recall. But if you're asking about the Cloak of Omission, it could only shield you from so many scrying attempts. Eventually, someone will notice you. But the enchantment should last long enough for us to get our hands on Shelreni.
Anything else you want to tell me?
Now that you mention it, yes. Gedain can get you on the access list, but you must play your part. Dunmer laws are labyrinthine, Telvanni especially. You need to invoke the proper statue to avoid suspicion.
The proper statue?
Just say the following to the sentry at the door. I hereby invoke the 26th statute of the Necrom agreement, and then demand entry to the Conclave. Can you remember that? Once we get inside, we can meet up with Kirt Gedain.
Alright.
What could Shelreni be thinking? She's obviously counting on the support of two Daedric princes. But does she really expect them to magically elevate her to the rank of Magister? Let's get to Tel Hulen in Old Isra and see if the cloak works.
Why is the statue you want me to invoke so important?
Because you're not a Telvanni. That particular statute relates to the agreement between House Telvanni and the Keepers of the Dead. If you present it with authority, the Sentry will probably grant you access.
Once inside, why don't I just tell the Conclave what Master Shelreni is really up to?
And tell them what? If you even imply that any Telvanni would require the help of an outsider, you'd insult them at best or get arrested, if not immediately challenged to a duel of spells. Believe me, any of those would be counterproductive.
What could they arrest me for?
Do you honestly think my people need a legitimate reason? Well, how about impersonating a Necrom official? Or infiltrating a meeting of the Master's Conclave? Not to mention acting in the service of a Daedric prince? We can't risk it.
Another chance at perfection.
Telhulen, the Tower of Halls, home to the Assembly of Masters. Remember to invoke the statute when you demand entry, and put on the cloak.
Know that, Drew? As Master Shalreni's mouth, you are prohibited from entering the Conclave.
But I must warn the Masters.
Don't worry. Your treacherous master will be dealt with soon enough.
You must warn the other Masters. I can no longer stand by and do nothing while Master Shalreni continues along this dark path. Her actions threaten the entire peninsula.
Didn't he leave her and get a different job? Your master shall run his mouth. Why should I trust anything you tell me?
You probably shouldn't. But that doesn't mean I'm lying. I admired Shalreni for her skill and power. Thought she would help me rise in the ranks. But her ambition and contempt for her fellow Telvanni will doom us all.
What do you mean?
Master Shalreni made a deal with not one, but two Daedric princes. She plans to use their help to eliminate all who oppose her so she can become Archmagister. The Masters won't listen to me. They don't understand the danger.
What danger are you talking about?
I'm not sure. Master Shalreni stopped confiding in me. But I know how she thinks. She has no respect for the Masters or this Conclave. When they move to reprimand her, she's going to show them just how powerful she's become. It will be a bloodbath.
I saw while we were chatting with him. The great... Oh. $27th, right?
The Master's Conclave is in
26.
session. All other business is on hold.
I think
Come
they
back
didn't.
later.
They didn't make me memorize it. Check your list. I hereby invoke the 26th statute of the Necrom agreement and demand entry.
Necrom, Let me see. Ah, yes. You're listed as Curate Godane's attending clerk. Very good. You may go inside. I expect you'll find the curate in the assembly antechamber, as the attending magister declared the conclave for masters only.
There's Curate Godane.
Really, I must...
I insist, Curate. You do realize I wield considerable influence as Master Norvora's mouth.
Of course, but
I could do much for you and the Keepers. Now tell me, what do you think of my book?
That's Master Norvora's mouth. We need to extract Gadain this instant.
The curate and I are busy, outsider. I am eager to hear what he thinks of my book, Ancestors of a Humble Mouth. It's a work in progress, but at least 2 booksellers have expressed interest. Come back later.
Master Norvoris has sent me to find you. She requires your immediate assistance.
How strange. As no one but masters are allowed inside, Master Norvora explicitly told me to wait out here until after the Conclave concluded its business.
Well, she was quite insistent that I locate you and tell you to get her spellbook.
Well, obviously Master Norvora needs her spellbook. No master should ever meet her peers without being totally prepared. I'll go and fetch it at once.
thank you, my friend. Follow me. I know a place where we can talk privately. We can speak freely here.
I know time's of the essence, but I gotta search this stuff. Okay. Okay, we can chat now.
You arrived not a moment too soon, my friend. Before they decided to seal the hall, and I was trapped in that dreadful conversation with Mouth Elar, I found what we needed. Master Shelreni is here, and being held under guard until the Conclave begins.
Shelreni's here. I saw her mouth outside. He said the masters are in danger. Let's go get him.
And now we come to the problem. Magister Gothrin arrived from Sadrith Mora to oversee the Master's Conclave. He immediately expelled all but the Telvanni Masters and placed a ward on the door. There's no way to get into the assembly hall.
There must be some way to get inside.
Sadly, disabling a ward placed by a Magister is beyond my capabilities. If you have any ideas, please share them. Otherwise, I fear the Masters are on their own in there.
Melon is the Magister. Maybe he can help us get past the ward.
A Magister? To counter Magister magic, eh? Good idea. Let's go disable the ward. A ward needs anchors. Use my ghost sight to spot them. See them? One on either side of a door. I'll lend you my power to disable them.
Is she well?
The healers recommended she stay in bed, but she insisted we attend the conclave. They call them so rarely, you know.
Magister Gothrin is good,
As much as our masters
but I'm
despise
better.
public appearances,
Let's enter the
they
assembly
hate
hall.
The thought of others gathering without them more.
Too bad we're not allowed inside. I was hoping to see what punishment they devise for Master
This
Shelreni.
is a closed session. What is the meaning of this intrusion?
Now, Gothrin, surely such restrictions don't apply to a Magister and his proxy.
Meln the Mouthless, a spirit. No matter. I will not tolerate your antics.
Nothing in our statutes precludes a dead Magister from participating in a conclave. Now, hear what my proxy has to say.
Very well. Step forward. You stand on shaky ground, mouth for the mouthless. What's so important that Magister Meln dares interrupt this closed session of the Master's Conclave?
You're all in danger. Master Shelreni plans to eliminate all of our rivals.
And Magister Meln thought us so ineffective that he had to swoop in and save the day? How presumptuous of him. Do you really think one rogue master is a match for this assembly?
It's not just Master Shelreni. She has the support of 2 Daedric princes.
So I heard. Hence the reason I decided to leave my comfortable tower and come all this way to personally take charge of this conclave. The Masters will hear the charges, question the subject, and render swift judgment.
She's going to kill you all, just like she killed Meln the Mouthless.
Is that why you're here? To add another charge to Shelreni's list of crimes? Then so noted. Perhaps that's why she turned herself over without any fuss or bother, so that she can plead for mercy. Perhaps I'll be lenient. Perhaps not.
You're making a mistake. Magister Melon says you can't underestimate Master Shelreni.
Enough of this nonsense. I listened to the concerns of your Magister and heard his allegation. Now we are finished. Meln may stay if he wishes. That is his right. But you and the curate should go and leave us to our work.
Over. I forgot how boring my so-called peers can be. Pity Shelreni didn't eliminate a few more of my rivals before we noticed. But your master, Meln. I have fond memories of his many antics. That's why I wanted a word with you.
What do you want to talk about?
Your master has delayed these proceedings long enough. Master Shelreni reached above her station and must be dealt with. Anything that postpones that and increases the time I must spend in the company of my so-called peers will not be tolerated.
Master Shelreni murdered Magister Meln. He has the right to confront her.
Murder, you say? That is serious. I suppose anything can be expected from a master who makes pacts with Daedra. We really need to strip her of her rank and exile her. Well, if you must see her, she's being held in a meeting room down the East Hall.
I don't understand this necessity for debate. If it were up to me, we'd get right to the vote. Nothing anyone has to say will change my mind about Shelreni. Now then, is Magister Meln really dead?
He was murdered by Master Shelreni. He needs to see her right away.
Meln may have confused Magister Gothrin, but there's no provision for a dead Telvanni participating in a conclave. It's just not done.
Look, if you don't find Shelreni, there's no telling what might happen to you and the other masters.
Is that a threat? Master Morena led Shelreni through the East Door for making similar pronouncements only a few moments ago. If that can happen to a master, imagine what's in store for a lowly mouth like you.
There's a meeting room just to the right. This must be where they're holding her.
Shelreni's gone, but what's that tipped-over bottle over there? That's pure essence of dream. Let me cast a spell to see what happened here.
What was that? Just a little gift from the Prince of Dreams. Soon, you will do exactly as I say. You won't get away with this. I already have. And with your help, I'll get away with so much more. Now let's go attend the Conclave. My ascension requires participants, willing or otherwise.
We must get to the Conclave. It's held in the Master's private hall to the north.
Something's going on to the north. I think the Conclave is starting.
Master Shelreni, you stand accused of conspiring against your fellow Telvanni, murdering Meln the Mouthless, and consorting with Daedric princes. How do you plead?
A Telvanni doesn't plead. But I will kill you all before I take my sacrifice and depart.
Help me, Magister!
Shelreni, cease your actions this instant.
Use my ghost sight to disable the wards and get down there.
I know, time of the essence, but you know, There's always time to pick up stuff.
You again? If these fools can't stop me, what hope do you have?
Come on, get up! I'm not ready to die a second time.
You're finally awake. Thank the ancestors. I thought Shelreni killed you.
We should talk, Mouth of Mouth. The Mouth of the Mouthless. I suppose you want me to say that you and Meln were right. That I should have taken Shelreni's threat more seriously. Well, let's pretend I said that and move on to what needs to happen next.
I remember rushing towards Sharani when everything went black.
Yes, quite a display. She used the Conclave to formally announce her intentions. Her spell would have killed everyone, and positioned her to challenge the Archmagister for rulership of the house. Luckily, I was on hand to save the local masters.
What did you do?
Shelreni may be a powerful master, but I am a magister of the Telvanni Council. It was a simple matter to deflect her attack while the Conclave dispersed. Then, I stabilized the portal she fled through, assuming you would want to follow her.
Why do you assume that we want to follow?
Really now, who do you think Meln consulted when he first invented his Cloak of Omission? I see the mark of Mora upon you. House Telvanni wants no part in the machinations of Daedric princes. Just make sure to kill Shelreni when you find her.
What about Master Marina?
Master Morena revealed her inadequacies when she allowed herself to be captured. The other masters survived. In both cases, House Telvanni won. If you plan to chase Shelreni, I suggest you leave now. I'm not going to hold that portal open forever.
So you don't care what happens to Master Marini?
In all honesty, no. In case you haven't noticed, we of House Telvanni are a superior lot. Sentiment and mercy rarely factor into our actions. Now, step lively. That portal will close as soon as my attention wavers. Ooh, and I feel a yawn coming on.
Alright. I like him. Brutal.
This ancient ruin. Those markings. This place is dedicated to Vermina.
This place. I think we visited the memory of it in the Eye of Mora.
A lot less packing up for. Someone else has come through ahead of me.
This chamber appears promising. We should look around.
The dramatic.
Let it sit with you. Novel erudition always makes me heady.
The Dremora Torvasard came to me with an intriguing proposition more than 2 years ago now. He promised to fulfill my lifelong ambitions to become Archmagister and rule over House Telvanni. All I had to do was pledge my service to Vermina, the Daedric Prince of Dark Portents, and all my dreams would come to pass. He explained that something had been taken from the world long ago, and that it was his destiny to restore what was stolen, what was lost. He said that restoration began with a dream, hence his alignment with Vermina. For in a dream he required a shrine to the Dreamweaver, a shrine that was imperative I help him repair. After much research and investigation, we have come to this ancient site. Now all we need to do is find the shrine Torvasard saw in his dreams. After long months of preparation, we finally ready to begin the work to fully restore the ancient statue of Vermina. While I still don't understand the significance of this effigy, I have devoted myself to determining exactly how to rebuild the statue and restore it to its former glory. Torvasard works by my side, learning all he can. When I ask why, he refuses to answer. He just says that restoring the statue is the key to restoring what was lost. And now I have an army of Vermina's followers, bolstered by those devoted to Purite. Whitecrown disgusts me, but I cannot fault his brilliance or the strength of his charges. The supply of malachite from the Alvalis Forays have finally arrived, and we can begin. Soon, Vermina shall reward me with the power I need, become Art Magister of House
Anything
Telvanni.
relevant in those papers? Was there anything in those papers about Master Shelreni or where we might find her?
They talk about her arrangement with Torvasard.
She writes about how Torvasard came to her, indoctrinated her into Vermina's service, how he was consumed with restoring something that was either stolen or lost, and how he insisted they find this ancient shrine. Interesting.
And here she writes about the work they did to restore a Vermina statue.
So they sent the Malachite mind from...
Oh, jeez, dudes. We were busy.
Laramil's amulet can protect us both. Was there anything in those papers about...
Yes.
Was there anything in the... So they sent the Malachite mined from the Alavelis quarry here. And she discusses how the hidden kindred were formed to provide the workers needed to accomplish the restoration. Somehow, rebuilding a Vermina statue is the key to Torvasard's goal.
In the Panopticon, Torvasard altered Mora's memory by restoring a statue.
This must be where that original memory took place. Where Vermina and Periite think Hermaeus Mora wronged them and stole whatever it is they now seek. Let's keep going. That restored statue and Master Shelreni must be somewhere in this old ruin.
We'll find her.
We must find Shelreni and stop her from completing this rite.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Goodness. Seconds.
There's Shelreni and Master Morena. We need to free her.
Ingenious. My black book! Looks like Shelreni got past my safeguards. Shelreni's using the restored statue as a focus for her rite.
Morris, you will not interfere.
An aspect of Vermina? That's not good.
Away, agents of fate! This vessel will help me restore what was taken from us all!
My vigor wanes.
No! Now, my disciple, complete the sacrifice so I may inhabit the
Into the
vessel.
focus point. My guilt can defeat this enemy.
Now, friend, free Morena from the binding.
This magic is unstable! Save yourselves! No! Not when we're so close!
Close my black book and take it. That should end the rite.
Taking the Black Book won't stop us, and one of you will serve just as well as a sacrifice.
No need to involve outsiders, Shelreni. Prince Vermina accepts your sacrifice and deems you a worthy vassal.
I regret the bloodshed, but soon Mor's injustice will be undone.
With this vessel, I can enter Apocrypha and strike at Mora's heart. With me, my faithful!
We have to warn Apocrypha. Let's return to the Necrom bindery and find Laramil.
Hold still, and I'll open a portal back to Necrom.
Neither Scroot nor I can feel Hermaeus Mora's presence. We both find this unsettling. Good. you are here. Both Scroot and I felt a sudden disturbance in the tides of fate. Something terrible has happened in Apocrypha, and Scroot and I no longer feel the presence of the one who knows.
Shelreni performed the rite. Blightcrown sacrificed her, and Vermina possessed her body.
Another significant event in the annals of fate, and I missed it. But Master Shelreni is dead, and Vermina did what? Start from the beginning, Proxy. What happened at the Master's Conclave?
We warned the Masters, which helped save them when Master Shelreni tried to kill them all.
So that was Shelreni's plan. Use whatever power the princess provided to eliminate her rivals and move up in rank. I am glad she failed. But what happened after that?
We followed her to the shrine that we saw in the memory. We saved the master she planned to sacrifice.
And Blightcrown decided to complete the rite anyway by sacrificing Shelreni instead. Ruthless, but in keeping with a follower of Periite. And you say this allowed Vermina to possess Shelreni's corpse? What happened next, Proxy?
I recovered the Black Book, but the possessed Shelreni and the others opened a portal to Apocrypha.
They cannot. Not usually. Hence all the trouble that Torvasad and his allies went through to reach this point. At least you saved the Telvanni Masters and recovered Meln's Black Book. Well done. While I ponder next steps, take this. You earned it. Both Scroot and I felt the tides of fate churn and boil. Worse, neither of us has been able to commune with her Maius Mora since the Black Book's rite was completed at Vermina's shrine. And you say you saw Shelreni's body walk into Apocrypha?
Yes, Vermina possessed her body after Blightcrown sacrificed her.
Giving Vermina access to Apocrypha and a host to work through. They must know where to find the memory they seek, or they have a good idea where to look. Apocrypha is infinite. Without fate to guide us, we are lost in the dark without a candle.
There must be some way to follow them, Lero.
Blightcrown and Torvasad have ways to avoid detection. Only one viable option presents itself. We must ask Master Shelreni where Vermina has taken her body. Will you see this through, Proxy, before the disaster Mora foresaw comes to pass?
I'm with you, Loramil, but how can we ask Master Shelreni anything? She's dead.
Fortunately, we have two conduits to spirits not yet bound for Aetherius at our disposal. Magister Meln and Curate Gadain. Speak to Meln first. He obviously knows what happens when a Telvanni mage dies.
Tell me more about the Aetherius and why you think we can contact Master Shelreni's spirit.
Aetherius is the immortal plane. When a person dies, their spirit moves on to that realm unless something prevents that from happening. A violent death, perhaps, or because the spirit still has tasks left undone. Shelreni fits both categories.
Why would Vermina want to enter Apocrypha?
What her Maius Mora foresaw was always about an assault on Apocrypha. Vermina and her allies want to recover the memory that was stolen from them. But the way she's going about it will doom us all. We need to determine her destination and stop her.
You mentioned that neither you nor Scroot can feel the presence of her Maius Mora?
You know how you can feel the warmth and know the sun is above you, even if you never look up. That is what Scroot experiences every day in the service of her master, and what I sense when I commune with the one who knows. Now, it just feels empty.
And you think this has something to do with Vermina entering Apocrypha?
Perhaps. We know Blightcrown used a corrupting combination of pestilence and dream to avoid detection in the Panopticon, and he was trying to increase its potency. Maybe the rite did more than open a path. Maybe it cut Mora off from his own realm.
Laramil's idea is a good one. Master Shelreni has the answer we seek, and I know how to reach her.
What I find interesting is that she has a sweet tooth. All these sweet rolls right here.
No Telvanni master worth their weight in Quama cattle would relinquish their hold on this plane without a fight. I have no doubt we can contact Master Shelreni's spirit. Whether we can get her to cooperate, well, that's an entirely different matter.
How do we contact them?
As the curate can tell you, Necrom forbids summoning the dead. But there's no regulation against the dead choosing to speak to you. We don't have to summon Shalreni's spirit. We can go to her and simply request an audience.
And where do we go to find the spirit of a dead Telvanni master?
Same place you found me. In her tower, of course. We must go to Tel Barrow and search her sanctum. If her spirit lingers, she'll haunt there. Though, I'm better take Gadain with us. If she's become a vengeful spirit, his expertise might be required.
Meln, we can't just summon the dead whenever we please. It's forbidden.
Yes. Summoning is an affront to your order. But if the spirit is already there...
If I help you, I could jeopardize my standing.
We would not ask this of you if the situation was not dire.
Of course I'll help, Laramil.
I'll return to Apocrypha. See if I can find Vermina while you chase spirits. Not like I've got anything better to do.
Good luck at Tel Barrow, my friends. Return here with whatever you learn.
Dealing with displaced spirits is very much frowned upon by the Keepers of the Dead. I'll help, because the stakes are great, but it goes against every iota of my training.
Isn't ancestor worship all about communicating with those who have passed on?
That's an aspect of our beliefs, but not the primary component. And it's different when you visit the catacombs and a spirit appears before you. I suppose if Shalreni decides to speak to us, that shouldn't violate the Codex too badly.
Melon thinks your expertise might come in handy if we do find her. Melon thinks your expertise might come in handy if we find her spirit.
Indeed. The recently departed are often confused, and that confusion can turn violent. I much prefer to deal with the spirits of our ancient ancestors. They may be cantankerous, but they've had enough time to reconcile to their undead existence.
I can't jump. Alright. Why did you say go out this door? Not the door I want. Seemed very fair. I'm gonna do some basic count of maintenance and I'll meet you guys somewhat near where we need to be. Somewhat near where we need to be. Oh, what do you need?
Oh, thank the 8. You stopped. I've had people pass by without even a glance my way. Suppose they must think I'm bait for some sort of trap with clothes as nice as this. Really, I just need an urgent favor.
What sort of favor?
I'm a courier for a cadet branch of House Halalu. My superiors tasked me with an urgent delivery to a member of the house in Necrom. I just landed this position. I don't want to lose it, but I can't complete the delivery in this state.
What happened?
I turned my ankle. Serves me right for wearing these new boots on an assignment without properly breaking them in. Could you find Solny Narain in Necrom and deliver her package for me? Happy to let you keep the reward if it means I'll keep my job.
Sure.
You're like a blessing from Zenithar himself. Solny Narain should be at the graveyard in Necrom. As for me, I suppose I'll fashion a splint and hobble my way to a settlement, with the comfort of knowing my professional reputation will remain intact.
How exactly did you manage to turn your ankle?
I was indisposed for a moment off the side of the road when I thought I heard a snake. Not ideal when you have your pants around your ankles. You can probably imagine the rest.
You need a healer.
No point now. I've been waiting for so long that even if my boots were broken in, I'd still never make it in time. Funny thing is, I bought this ensemble to treat myself for landing this position with House Halalu. Should have just saved my gold.
What's so important about this delivery anyway?
Per the courier's oath, your job isn't to know, it's to take the parcel and go. All I was told was that it's very important, Between you and me, they say that for all deliveries to the members of House Halalu. But the less I know, the better.
Right. Alright, we'll make a little detour, go back. Plus, I want to change the color of my boot. I know, it's a problem. I have this problem with the clothing. I'm never happy with the colors, so I constantly change them. It's a thing. It's a thing. I've accepted it about myself. In the window, I think, oh, that's cute, but then in the wild...
Someday you'll make something surprising with that.
Then in the wild, I'm like, hate it.
Stranger, what business do you have with me? I'm trying to tend my aunt's funeral pyre.
Only I have a delivery for you.
Oh, thank the three. You made it. I couldn't finish my aunt's funeral without her cherished shield. Her spirit will rest easier knowing it still protects her remains. With my deepest gratitude, this payment is yours.
Funny, we're wearing the same thing. Alright, now back to the other quest.
Ugh, dirt fungus.
Done something your companion disliked. Every companion has personal preferences which will affect how they feel about you over time based on your actions. Interesting. Hates mushrooms. Oh, ah. Oh. Alright, got that shard. Now we're gonna head over to Telvanni. I find it funny that he finds mushrooms disgusting and gets angry when you pick them in front of him. That was not a characteristic that I was expecting.
Where's the keeper? He should have been here by now.
The tower's locked tight. We need another way inside.
Telvanni towers always have more than a single ingress and egress. Look around. Over there. Just let me... There. Easy enough for a magister to remove a master's ward. Let's go inside. Shelreni's private study. Her presence is strong here. My ghost sight allows you to see it. Move closer, and I'll try to get her to manifest fully.
Careful, my friend.
Light Crown! He killed me. I'll destroy them all!
Such rage and suffering. Let me try to calm her.
Have you come to gloat? To see how far the mighty Shelreni has fallen? I would have led House Telvanni to new heights. Instead, I lost everything. All my work unfinished. My legacy in ruins. This is your fault, outsider. You and those duplicitous Daedric princes.
Hey, Blightcrown betrayed you and Vermina stole your body. You can help us stop them.
Now, why in the name of my despicable ancestors would I even consider such a notion? You're my enemy. I'm content to sit back and watch as Vermina and Periite steal back whatever they think Hermaeus Mora took from them.
You're content to let her betrayal go unpunished? That doesn't sound like the Telvanni way.
You know nothing of the Telvanni, outsider, or of me. But I will admit that I hate it when a greater power reneges on a mutually advantageous agreement. Frankly, my role in all this was more difficult than what I requested of the princes.
What did you do for the princes?
I decrypted Meln's Black Book, perfected Blightcrown's subterfuge concoction, and performed the rite that gave Vermina access to Apocrypha. And all for a simple favor. Eliminate my competition, and elevate me to the rank of Archmagister.
And instead, Blightcrown betrayed you and Vermina stole your body. You know where she took it?
I see what you did there. Clever. I suppose I've been taken off the board. A bit of revenge on my part is probably called for. The path to the memory Vermina seeks lies through the infinite panopticon. Torvasad will lead her there.
Why did you seek the help of Vermina and Periite in the first place?
It started with Torvasad and his dream of something lost long ago. He needed someone to acquire Meln's Black Book and perform the rite. In return, he would help me achieve my dream of becoming Archmagister, as long as I pledged myself to Vermina.
What about Periite? Why is he working with Vermina?
Torvasad behaves like a broker, bringing disparate parties together for mutual benefit. In truth, I now believe this is all about Torvasad. He has his own agenda. Anyway, he convinced the princes to set aside their differences and work together.
You know anything more about the secret they're searching for?
Truth be told, I never much cared. All I wanted was to do what was asked of me and get my reward. Instead, I got a dagger in the back from that disgusting Blightcrown. They believe Hermaeus Mora stole something from them. From all of us, really.
And what did he steal?
It involves Torvasad's dream. He had vague visions of a Vermina shrine, believed it was important. So he asked Vermina to help him recall the entire dream. When she failed, he expanded his list of allies.
You don't know anything...
where the hidden kindred came in.
You don't know anything more specific?
Look, maybe Mora stole Torvasad's favorite sweet roll recipe, I wouldn't put it past the Prince of Fate. He collects knowledge like House Lalu hoards gold. All I know is Vermina and Pereide want the memory back, but Torvasad wants it more.
Do you know why Hermaeus Mora has gone silent?
Silent, you say? Then my enhanced subterfuge concoction worked. I told Blightcrown I could do it.
What did you do?
I took Blightcrown's mix of disease and dream, and with a few adjustments to the right, enhanced its ability to hide them 1,000-fold. If Mora has gone silent, it means it affected him too. Cut him off from his own realm. Am I a genius or what?
How do you fix this?
Oh, fear not. You can't separate a Daedric prince from their realm for very long. Should last just long enough for Vermina to get whatever she's after. Of course, who can say what will happen when a realm and its prince are sundered even briefly?
I can't absolve you of your transgression, Spirit, but I can grant you peace.
Eternal disappointment, more likely.
Let's return to Necrom and tell Laramil what we learned.
Can't take anything. Okay, well that's disappointing. Alright, I'm gonna leave you guys here. We'll continue on in the next episode. Thanks for keeping me company.